I think I have control of my schedule. I don't. And so I thought right now I would send some ideas to class and hope to get to come and see you later in April after we get done with our levy. For right now though, I want to show you a little bit about what it's like to be a professional program evaluator, because as a result of the program that you're in right now, that is what I do. Look around you. This is where we do program evaluation in the St. Joe School District. And it does always look like there's a lot going on, because right now I have approximately 15 program evaluations going. The truth of the matter is they're not all in process. They should be, but some of them are very large evaluations and some of them are very small evaluations, and some of them haven't even really come to life yet and should have. So let me just show you a few things. This is my dissertation. You're going to have one of these someday soon. And there's a chart in here that I created called Levels of Program Evaluation. And you see up here in this small box, this says Superintendent's Cabinet. Then it says the Program Manager. Then it says Program Staff, Building Principals, the program's targeted population. So like if, for instance, if the evaluation is on gifted education, then the targeted population would be a gifted student. So that would be involving the students that are in that program. The teachers and or district staff is level 6. And then level 7 is the community. And I developed this because we needed some way to very quickly and easily talk about what groups of stakeholders would be involved in a program evaluation. So I remember sitting in my office creating this, just trying to find a way to put into words what was going on, which is I'd go out and have conversations with people about evaluations, and we would talk about big evaluations and small evaluations, and nobody really understood what anybody else was talking about. And so this is a tool I came up with. Right now I'm working on evaluations that are all of these levels, levels 1 through 7. And so I'll show you right over here. This is the roster of the program evaluations that we're doing, that I have going right now, or getting ready to go in the future. And I've drawn this line here because really it's, now I should have probably put it after February, but I drew it after January because these are the things, come back to that. These are the things that we have that I've either completed or that are in process. And you will see, and I'll go ahead and send a copy of this to Dr. Mester and Dr. Piverall for you to look at. But you can see it says level in here. And I have a couple level 6, a level 3, a level 7. That's next to, by the way, gifted education. And that's a great big evaluation I have going right now. There are some level 2s that are about to start, and some level 4s, just all different levels, which means that those are the different stakeholders that I have to involve in the evaluation. And I have learned the hard way that what we saw in theory about involve the stakeholders and do utilization focused evaluation, that really is huge and can come back and cause all kinds of problems for you if you ignore it. Because in the long run, evaluation has such a political component to it, as far as people really feeling like their work is out there on display, and that's no fun. Nobody likes to be in that position. And in the St. Joseph School District, we don't do program evaluation to call people on the carpet. We do it because we are all about increasing effectiveness and efficiency for the school district. So we are doing program evaluation to increase effectiveness and efficiency for the school district. So at the direction of my superintendent, who really came up with this program as a result of being in an earlier cohort, she challenged me to come up with some bullet statements about really what is program evaluation, what are we committed to in this district. And so since it's really a new program in the past year and a half, I will tell you that we decided, and I'll read these so you don't have to, that we are focused on user needs always. So back to that idea about we don't call people on the carpet, we really are about getting the user in here and finding out what they need. We are results oriented. We are about defining the program design. So in a lot of cases, we are evaluating programs that have no program design under them. And so a lot of what I do is help program managers understand their programming. We focus on the manager and the evaluator partnership. So this isn't about the evaluator coming in and doing something to the program. It's about working in conjunction with the program manager. We are about building capacity for program staff so that they understand how to do ongoing program evaluation themselves. And we are very much focused on being interlocked with our comprehensive school improvement plan. And nobody particularly told us that that's what we need to do, but everything we do in this district is related to that. Now, one thing that I didn't learn when I was in your class is that inside the MSIP standards, which guide everything that all the school districts in Missouri do, there is a standard called Standard 8.1. And I'll just read it to you. It says, at least biennially, so every 2 years, the district reviews the goals and objectives of each program and service, receives reports of the effectiveness of each program and service, and takes action to ensure that these programs efficiently achieve their goals. So under that, it says that the district has a written procedural plan approved by the board which coordinates the evaluation of all programs and services. This evaluation plan includes program goals and objectives for the programs and services offered, evaluation criteria and procedures for the programs and services, designated responsible persons for the programs and services, and a list of programs and services which will be evaluated, and timelines for reporting the results of these evaluations to the board. So back over to here, this roster, this functions as our timeline. It has the name of the program, it has when it starts, it has, I have a column for status so that on an updated version I can keep track of where the evaluation is. So I have some that say complete, I have some that say they're in the initial meeting, some that say in process, some that say initial meeting set. I have the level, the director, and the completion date. So part of that, I mean really that came about as part of a way of conforming with MSIP. And in theory, all school districts in the state should be doing something of that nature. I know that different districts handle it differently, but there are not very many program evaluation positions in school districts across the state of Missouri. In fact, what I've come to find out by being a member of the American Evaluation Association is that Missouri really is a black hole for evaluation. Not just educational evaluation, but evaluation in general. There are some states that have tons of evaluators and tons of great big money evaluations going all the time. Ours is not one of those states, so it's hard to even find a mentor in this state. Now, I've gone the last 2 years to the big annual conference, and in the back, the reason I say this about the black hole, I have gone back through the back section of this, which lists everybody that's mixed up in this conference by last name. One time I got really bored on a plane and went through and looked for all the places that Missouri was listed, and we're just not in here. We're in here a very handful of times. And so that's interesting because there are places in the country that put lots of time and resources and millions of dollars into evaluation, and Missouri, again, is not one of those. I know I do program evaluation for the St. Joseph School District. At that conference, typically there are really big school districts like Houston and Albuquerque and some East Coast districts that send evaluators. There's some program evaluation going on down in Park Hill, and there's some program evaluation in different little pockets across the state. But it's not something that you're going to find everywhere, and I felt really lucky, frankly, that we get to find it here because I love program evaluation. This textbook you probably are very used to seeing by now, the one by Patton. Excuse me. I still use this all the time. In fact, I come back to it. All these post-it notes, really, they're not from my dissertation, they're from my work in program evaluation. I come back to it a lot to remind myself of things that I need to be keeping track of. It kept me probably out of big trouble last week when I almost forgot that when you're in a volatile situation, it's really important to go back to the data and let the data be objectively put on the table and have the stakeholders help you analyze that data. You come up with a process for analyzing the data, and you work with them to analyze it together so that this isn't you coming in and saying, oh look, there's a duck. We have a duck